tell you what, you've got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, guys. After losing their franchise players to injury and age back in '09, they've managed to rebuild this team without tanking for lottery picks or going all the way to the bottom of the heap. Very impressive.
A good way to get things started here.
Steve, always nice to get the first points up on the board. At least I felt that way.
Harden with it. Coming off a solid outing against Portland. 4 on the shot clock. Lays it up and banks it in. And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for draft picks. Steve, all in the hopes of swinging big trades for superstars.
Well, and then when they acquired James Harden, they finally got a cornerstone player. Now all of a sudden you throw in Dwight Howard, you've got another foundational player. So all these years of tinkering and trading and moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together.
Here's Beverly after Carlos Boozer's score. Beverly, the pass to Howard.
Dwight Howard is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and, you know, when he's healthy, he can really anchor a defense inside with his rebounding and shot blocking. A real force in the paint.
Omer Ashi, he's checked in for Jones. Howard hits them both. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Heinrich with it, and it's Howard picking him up. Heinrich kicks to butt. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. And Clark, I know for Howard, you said when he's right, but the last few seasons, Steve, I think that's become an issue. Injuries have been a problem.
For sure, his production has waned. He had the disc issue in his back that numbed out one of his legs last year, had to have back surgery. So, you know, you think about everything else, the torn labrum in his shoulder. He's taken a pounding over the years. Not a good foul shooter, so people really hit him hard and force him to the line. You wonder if maybe that has something to do with the injuries. Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
Fires from the line. It's Chicago with another bucket.
How about this? They're shooting 80% so far. I know it's early, but offensively, they look great.
Harden dishes to Ash. Back to Harden. Fires the 3. That's good. Harden's got 7 points.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
The offensive rebound. Here's Noah. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. The Bulls shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
Well, solid numbers for this club from the free throw line this season, shooting about 77% collectively.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Here's Beverly. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Portland.
And he was disruptive defensively, too. Kevin, really aggressively trying to make plays. In fact, he had 4 steals during that game.
For the Houston Rockets, they come in off a good outing against Portland.
They really impressed everybody with that comeback they had in the fourth quarter. I mean, it shocked the crowd.
Shocked me too, Clark. I didn't see that coming. Their fourth quarter performance couldn't have been any more different than the first 3, but give them credit. They turned it on when they had to. Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And the Rockets making a change here. Jones is checked in.
Well, you look at the relationship between Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant, and, you know, from a distance, it just appeared as though they weren't always on the same page, and that's understandable. I mean, 2 guys of that caliber, Kobe Bryant, a multi-time NBA champion, Dwight Howard coming off injury, trying to figure out how to make things work. Kobe always laser focused and serious. Dwight more of a playful type of personality. You could understand why it might have taken them some time to get on the same page. And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. Just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
Now here's Heinrich. An 11-point game for him in the win against Miami. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Gibson passes to Heinrich. Pass to Noah. Tries again. And the layup is good. Noah's got 5 points so far. And Steve, going back to that difference in temperament, some teams are more fun-loving while other teams are more intense and more confrontational. Which of the two is more conducive, do you think, to winning?
I think you can win either way, Kevin, but it depends on the personality of the team. As long as everyone respects each other, plays hard, holds one another accountable, you can do that and still have fun at the same time.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. This time they met in Houston. Chicago making a switch here.
Now we've got a moment to see how the Bulls are doing rank-wise in the NBA. 7th in second chance points, 9th in rebounding, and they're in the top 3rd in the league in blocks. They're a team that really doesn't give many good looks.
And the key number there is the second chance points, because what's important there, Clark, and you know this, I mean, when you make second chance opportunities for yourself, you can survive on a night when your shots aren't going down.
Here is Augustine following the basket by Dwight Howard. And he gets it back. And that one's good.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. It's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Bulls have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Butler. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. And Beverly kicks to Harden. There's the triple. Offensive rebound. Left side Parsons. Harden outside. Good if it goes. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. It's all tied in Chicago. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. We welcome you back to our special Noche Latina broadcast as the second quarter is about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
They've done a nice job on the offensive boards here, guys, and I think that was the difference in that first quarter, really pounding the offensive glass.
Well, they set the tone early with their mindset, their tenacity, and their hustle. I mean, that's the way they've come out, and it's served them well.
Gibson and Boozer in the middle. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's DJ Augustine. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Tell you what, it's hard to argue with the record for Coach Tom Thibodeau of the Bulls, but the rumor mill has it that the front office hasn't been happy with how hard he's ridden his top players. Luol Deng missed time last season with the hamstring injury. Joakim Noah came down with plantar fasciitis. Hey, those things happen, and I'm not quite sure you can put that at the feet of Tom Thibodeau.
Omer Ashe, he's checked in for Terrence Jones. Augustine dishes to Boozer. Second chance shot, and it's blocked by Parsons. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. And the officials call the foul, reaching out and committing the intentional foul here, and his teammates are baffled.
Yeah, everybody's kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? I mean, I think he just lost track of the situation.
Chicago making a switch here. Heinrich's checked in. It's Howard with the drive.
Tell you what, he takes a lot of punishment inside. When Howard gets the ball in deep, defenses are looking to foul him hard because of his difficulties at the free throw line.
And he's a devastating finisher when you let him power it up to throw it down. He's a former dunk contest champ, Steve, so you give him a chance to do that, he'll make you part of his highlight reel.
Dunleavy, the pass to Heinrich. Misses the three. And going back to Tom Thibodeau and that minutes load on his stars, it seems it's getting harder for players to weather big minutes, Steve, these days.
I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see this Bulls team this year and beyond. Will that wear them down? Their guys play too many minutes. They've had a lot of injuries. I think it's time to scale back a little bit on the minutes played.
From deep, Harden.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
And finished off by Parsons.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Yeah, absolutely. They made the steal pay dividends instantly in the open floor. That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Harden outside. And that one's good. Harden's got 14 points.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Well, you know, prior to last season, there were several teams that considered trading for James Harden. There was a question, though, over how much they were prepared to give up. And some question if he could be the first option on the team. That question's been answered.
It's getting late in the season. Let's now see the standings out east. Taking a look at Indiana. And, of course, the Chicago Bulls tied right now. And the Rockets making a change here. Jones has checked in. In the season before last, Harden won Sixth Man of the Year. But, guys, do you think that because Harden came off the bench in Oklahoma City that some underestimated his talent?
Well, I don't think anybody underestimated his talent. I think it was pretty apparent what he could do. But, you know, scouts have watched him ever since his Arizona State days. You could see he had star potential, and now he's getting the opportunity in Houston to fulfill that.
You look at them and what they're trying to do on offense, and I like it. I really do. I like the way they're using the entire court. They're spreading themselves out, and when you spread yourself out and make the extra pass, it gives you a chance to get good looks from behind the three-point line, and they're draining their chances. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Parsons' shot is off. Heinrich with it. Now guarded by Beverly. Shot from 12. And it's Chicago scoring again.
It was almost like he was surprised to be that wide open, yet he knocked it down.
And Kirk Heinrich picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Rockets making a change here. Hamilton kicks to Beverly. Another miss by Houston.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much. People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Hibbs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
Howard's checked in for Houston. Knocked away. Drops in the layup for 2. Howard's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
Doubled by Howard. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Off target with the open look. Go back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago. It is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them and, Steve, contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round. Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Here's Heinrich, and it's blocked by Harden. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton can't get that one to fall.
Yeah, again, iffy shot selection there. Defender draped all over him.
Well, you got to understand who's guarding you in that situation. I mean, if he's on you tight, you can't just rise up and try to shoot over the top.
Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
To the right side. Beverly dishes to Harden. Covington buries it from three-point range. And the Rockets lead by 7.
Well, he found the open man on the perimeter and got the ball to him.
And so that's the end of the first half. Rockets ahead, finishing the quarter on a tremendous 8-0 run. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he was on a mission there in the first half, just trying to get into the lane every time possible.
Aggressive attacking basketball at its very best.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Kevin McHale. On either wing, Harden and Parsons. Terrence Jones is down low with Howard. And it's Beverly in at the 1.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
Yeah, Clark, they've been more active and more physical down low, and I think that's been the difference.
Now here's Heinrich. Rejected by Howard. Boozer passes to Heinrich. It's Noah with the drive. That is good. Noah's got 7 points in the game.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
Harden. No good off the back of the rim.
Ill-advised shot selection right there, Clark.
It really was. I mean, very low percentage shot there. Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guys. He's still developing his outside shot, but he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
And here's the intentional foul, but you know, it's coming here at a very inopportune time.
Yeah, that's a bad play there. I mean, that can really cost you the game. You've got to be smart when you make those intentional fouls.
Chicago calls timeout. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach would take him in, another family would take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette, it speaks volumes of his character.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. You just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team.
Here's Beverly. 5 points in the game. The dish to Harden. Hits it from three-point range. Harden's got 22.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
Yeah, in fact, 3 of the last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
No one near him. And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
You know, one thing you know is that the son of a coach is usually going to have good shooting mechanics, and that's definitely the case with Mike Dunleavy Jr. He always seems cool and composed when he's getting ready to fire away. He's got a great release.
It's just one of the benefits of growing up in an NBA family. Shooting form comes very easy to him, and he makes the most of it. Monty Eunice is checked in for Houston. And now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard so we can see and check out some of the most feared defenders in the league, the steal leaders among shooting guards. You look at Butler, always dangerous on the court. He leads the league. And, of course, James Harden, down a few spots. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You look at Harden's career, he was a gifted scorer at Arizona State, but with a slow start in his rookie season and playing with 2 of the best players in the league in Oklahoma City, people seem to forget that he's always been a player who can light it up.
Harden hits them both. And James Harden, the first ever draft pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder after the move from Seattle, certainly. To see him go so soon in his NBA career as he was reaching stardom had to be tough for fans, and we know, Clark, certainly for his teammates.
I agree wholeheartedly there, Kevin. And think of all the fans who wore fake beards on their faces, even buildings in OKC with beards adorning them. So Harden wasn't just a great player. His image was almost a mascot for the team as well.
Well, look at Steve, Clark. He's got the fake Harden beard on right now next to us. I mean, geez.
Beard the beard.
Just 4 to shoot. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Statistically speaking, let's see where the Rockets sit right now. 3rd in scoring, 3rd in field goal percentage. And they also show up as a top 5 rebounding team.
And, Puck, you talked about the offense. I mean, what makes that stat so impressive is that they really get after it offensively in terms of setting screens and making sharp cuts to the hoop. They become a very difficult team to guard.
You know, to me, one reason why Carlos Boozer is such a valuable scorer is that he can hurt you in a multitude of ways inside. He can hit the rainbow jumper of his, and when he's back to the basket, can go over both shoulders very well.
And Beverly kicks to Howard. Great defense that time from Noah.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
And the officials call the foul, reaching out and committing the intentional foul here, and his teammates are baffled.
Yeah, everybody's kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? I mean, I think he just lost track of the situation.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Back to Harden. They get it back. Short range. It's good from Dwight Howard. Howard's got 13 points.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
The Bulls making a switch here. Here's Butler. And again, no good by Chicago. And for Boozer, you remember the story. Growing up in Alaska, his dad tied his right hand to his waist so he'd have to develop his left, and that was something that he worked on even more when he went to Duke.
Well, yeah, his left hand is fantastic. I mean, that's his preferred hand when he's finishing around the rim. A right-handed jump shooter, but anything around the basket is usually his left. So he probably owes his dad a debt of gratitude for tying him up all the time.
That's one way to put it. And so here is Chicago. Dwight Howard missing his last shot. Excellent defense from Monty Eunice. Houston leading by 10. Now here is Howard. He's got 13. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
We watched Howard play some great basketball. 8 rebounds, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
But he's done a better job than the numbers indicate, really. I think he's been really sound defensively, and he's helped his club.
And the Rockets making a change here. Parsons is checked in.
And if they continue to shoot well from the free throw line like they are, I mean, their lead is going to be pretty steady here.
That's not an overstatement. They've literally not missed a single foul shot this half.
Here's Augustine. Nails it from the high post. Augustine's got 7 points. Launches it. No good from Beverly.
He has yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
Chicago shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. That free throw, no good. And the Rockets making a change here. Lynn's checked in. Good on the second free throw. There's 45 seconds left in the third. Parsons attacking. Poke loose. Dives for it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Bulls making a switch here. Heinrich's checked in. Bulls trail by 9. Augustine dishes to Noah. And there's the call on Howard. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
You know, guys, when Noah came out of Florida, most people viewed him as just an energy guy or a role player, but I tell you what, I always saw him as a highly skilled player. He could pass it, he could put it on the floor, was smart defensively. He's shown that he can anchor a defense, and he contributes double-doubles on a nightly basis.
And he gets the bucket.
And his stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
Snell.
Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot, excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
Parsons with it, averaging 16 points a game. And here's Harden. Here's Lynn. No good. Well through. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls trail by 10. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. So for Chicago right now, inside, Gibson and Noah. DJ Augustine out there with Heinrich. And it's Dunleavy in the 3 slot. Lynn. They grabbed their own miss. Hit his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. And the Rockets making a change here. Beverly's checked in. In low to Howard. He feeds it to Parsons. Pass to Harden. Clock at 6. Lets it fly from 18. And it's blocked by Heinrich. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Chicago making some changes. Boozer comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Butler in for Augustine. Rejected by Jones. And it's Howard finishing it off.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there. Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Here's Beverly. Hits the front of the rim and out. Bulls trail by 10. And Heinrich gets it to go down on the assist from Carlos Boozer.
Great unselfishness on the fast break.
Harden with it. Butler covering. Harden the pass to Howard. Boom, he jams it straight down.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
He's been absolutely on fire from outside. You've got to get into his jersey, get up into him, force him to pass or drive.
Omer Asha. He's checked in for Jones. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thanks, Kevin. Tom Thibodeau had some words for his team in that last huddle. They're getting outshot from the perimeter. He told them, we've got to close out faster on the outside shooters. These threes are killing us. Kevin, can they tighten their D?
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
Boy, he's putting up big numbers in that three-point column, guys.
Near the three-point line, it's Dunleavy. And a great assist by Heinrich as that one goes in. Heinrich's got his 7th assist here tonight. Knocked away. It's Harden with the drive. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety. When you're hot, you're hot, and that's certainly been the case for Harden. He's got 32 points, and he's unleashed a barrage of three-pointers on him.
Well, you got that right. You can tell he's on target because as soon as the ball leaves his hands, it looks like every single one of them is going in.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And Beverly kicks to Harden. And another 3 for Houston. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Rockets.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And the other thing they're doing is they're